In this room, I'm probably here anywhere between 12 to 16 hours a day, generally. But then if you include the time that I'm eating and trying to sleep, you know, it probably extends beyond that because I can't seem to turn my brain off. That's the beautiful thing about doing what you love for a living, is that you don't really ever work a day in your life. My dad always told me that. So, and he's right. I work really hard, but I never really look at it like as a job. I'm Klayton, aka Celldweller. Welcome to my studio, based in Detroit, Michigan. So this is my home. This is kind of where I produce. I do artist albums, which is what I'm mostly known for, which is my main project, Celldweller, and I have a few other side projects that I do. I work on films, TV, video games, and I also managed to find some time in between to make sample packs, and I have a hardware-software company called Refractor Audio, and all of that and more is done in this facility. I just found that when I wanted something, I did it from my earliest childhood memory of wanting a bicycle. We didn't have a lot of money growing up in my family, so if I wanted that bicycle, I had to get a job. So at the age of like 9 or 10, I was doing the only paper route I was allowed to do at that age, and I saved for 6 months to buy a $300 bicycle, you know, and to me that was the biggest. I learned at a very young age, I had to work really hard if I wanted something. And then when music became a potential reality in my life, that was, I dug in and held on. I feel very fortunate because the circumstances that I have been in at the time, when I talk about a record deal that had been failed and I was broke, and that was only one record deal, there was multiple ones, been in litigation, and it basically had tied my career up. I should have just given up. I didn't. But those circumstances at the time seemed dire, and I pretty much thought my career was going to be over and there was no way I could salvage this, but there was no way I was going to quit either. So I just starved a little more and I worked a little harder. I went a large portion of my career thinking that everything I was doing was wrong. There's no way I could be doing it right because nobody taught me. I'm just learning this stuff by trial and error. So it clearly isn't right. And with extremely limited funds, I couldn't buy gear, so I didn't have anything. So when I finally started making some money and was paying my bills and could start to afford to buy some gear, that's what I did. And when I realized how these things represented those sounds I heard on other people's records growing up, then I started hearing that coming through the gear, like my Neves and my APIs. Obviously I had synthesizers, drum machines, things like that, but then when I really dove into modular synths, you know, it was kind of intimidating at first and really there was a lot to figure out, but once I understood how they worked, started creating sounds that I had only ever dreamed of creating. When I finally managed to turn my brain off at night and fall asleep, I'll get up and I'm already thinking about work and kind of what I have to do for the day. But generally it's getting into the studio and tackling whatever my next few immediate goals are. And those seem to change almost daily. So my priorities shift dependent on what deadlines I have ahead of me. So I think, again, it comes down to the creative process. So I feel like at the end of a day, when I've created something that I know I'm going to wake up tomorrow, I'm probably not even going to be able to sleep because I'm so excited about waking up to dive back into what I had created. That's generally a good day for me. I thought there was no way to ever make money in music. I was only doing this because this is the only thing I wanted to do in my entire life. So, you know, fast forward a few years and I relocated to a better place, built my facility, have artists signed to my label, the business has grown. I'm moving forward. Lots to do.